Julius Malema, the firebrand leader of the economic freedom fighters, often stirs controversy with his bold statements and uncompromising stance. However, beneath the fiery rhetoric lies a deep-seated commitment to the upliftment of black people in South Africa. I hope I'm not going to get into trouble to referring to Julius Malema as controversy or some things like controversy statements, because in most cases when I say this I get into trouble with most of his followers. So here I'm just referring to the statement he usually makes, which are considered controversial by the mainstream media. Just watch the following two clips featuring Julius Malema and his followers, and then we'll discuss about what I'm saying.
Well, we are here to expose the lies that continue to be told by the DA, that where they govern much better. I come from a very rural province with lack of resources, but I've never seen rubbish collected after 40 days. It is for the first time since my existence seeing rubbish collected after 40 days. Every 500 meter you find rubbish, and you find porta, which residents are saying the minimum time frame for collection is after a month and a week. And they claim to be the best when it comes to governance. I've visited a family where a child was raped and then dumped in a toilet because they go to a toilet very far from where they stay. So all of this ought to be exposed, because our people must know the truth. And sometimes when we speak without visiting the actual places, people think we're exaggerating. The rubbish is in front of people's houses. The porta rubbish next to the crèche, where kids can actually play with those things and get sick. I met an old lady who says she's just from a clinic because they are sick. All of them, they are generally sick because of the environment, which is not conducive for human beings to live in. This place here, Taiwan, started during the era of the ANC when it was in charge. The DA came, still failed to correct it. And there's no one, none of them can claim that where they govern, they are much better than the other one. They are the same. And this is a example. Have you found? I mean, we must then take a tour in the white suburbs. I want to be taken to a white suburb where you'll find rubbish in front of houses of those whites. Let's go to any suburb of any choice. Rubbish gets collected weekly, and in the business areas they collect it every day. So here they've no regard. They give people plastics, but they don't come and collect their plastics. And the EFF branch here actually has come up with a program to collect this rubbish weekly and go and dump them somewhere. But they too can't afford to do it because it's expensive, it requires vehicles, it requires money. They are trying to create a conducive environment for their own people in this branch, but it's a tall order.
Do you find that it's a perpetuation of the whole notion that black people are, they can live in conditions because the black case?
The black life is cheaper according to the government of the day. Like I said, you can't find it anywhere in the white suburbs. You can go anywhere, any suburb of your choice, you can't find it. Why? Because they are white people. Black life is cheap. They don't care about it. They can ill-treat it the way they want. And nothing happens. So we are here to say to our people, they have the power. The power is in the hands of our people, and majority of them do not know that they have the power. They've allowed this to continue from 1994, and they need to stop it themselves. They need to say, we now want a party which will restore the dignity of black people, because it's being taken right by everyone else. So we're challenging DA to collect this rubbish. They brought plastics, they must come and collect them. And we are saying to them, where you govern, it looks like you are worse than the ANC. I come from a municipality which is governed by the ANC. I've never seen rubbish lying around, kids playing around it for a very long time like it is happening in this area. We're doing a walkabout. We're not asking community anything. Community members just run to us and say, please remove this rubbish. Please take us out of the shacks. We are tired of staying inside the shacks. We have a disabled person here who goes around this environment which is not conducive for disabled people. He has registered for a house. He's being told, no, we're busy with people who have been registered for many years. Fair enough. But why are disabled people not given a priority? By virtue of his condition, he must not be told about some people who have been waiting forever. If I'm waiting for a house and I'm number one and I'm told, no, we couldn't give it to you, we had to give it to a disabled person, I will never argue differently. I will accept that they deserve it better than me. So we have to give him a priority. We are asking all South Africans to help this man, rich and poor. Please help this man, find him a place which will be friendly, user-friendly for him, and let's help all the disabled people in the whole country as a caring nation. A caring nation must take care of its own disabled people. That's how we show Ubuntu. Because the day we neglect the disabled people, that's the day we are doomed as a nation. So he travels more than 150 meters to go to a toilet. At night, the toilets are locked. He can't help himself. And when it rains, this place, the wheelchair can't move. So these are the conditions that a councillor should have known. A councillor must know each and every family in his ward and say, whatever you are saying, this one I need help for. And if the municipality is failing to help this person, let me go all out as a councillor to help this person. There are not too many. There are very few of them, and we can take care of all of them. So if we can't take care of such few people, what about this big nation which is in a serious situation of poverty? So we are pleading that let the disabled be given a priority, especially when it comes to RDP houses. They have to be user-friendly. Let business show remorse and be useful and help this comrade. Let the white minority volunteer. There are rich white people here in Cape Town. Let them volunteer and help this man. I was happy some of the journalists have taken his numbers. You can see that they too are touched and they want to go out and call for help so that anyone who's willing, they can give that person the numbers of this fellow. Help him directly, not through the EFF. It's not about electioneering. It's about helping him genuinely. Take his number, give it to whoever wants to help him. We will also do the same.
See, I think if I may, sir, just quickly change tack.
Sure.
You know, obviously what's been happening in government and the whole issue relating to the finance minister.
Say we want to liberate blacks. It doesn't mean we want to oppress white. No, we can't liberate whites because they are liberated. They enjoy themselves. They're staying in suburbs with water, electricity, proper schools, proper health facilities. We want you to be at their status. Only then we'll stop speaking about black and white. We'll talk about things. But now you are oppressed. We must speak about the oppressed. Who are the oppressed? It's black people.
Julius Malema's journey in politics have been marked by unwavering support for the marginalized and disenfranchised, particularly the black population. His words resonate with those who have long felt neglected by the political establishment. You can see in his face that Malema is genuine. What he says is believable There's no pretentious about it. You can see he's touched. Julius Malema is fighting for black people. That I can tell you for free. You can come today, you can come tomorrow. I can tell you the same. He is for the black people, and there's no doubt about it. He is trying to empower all black people. But I feel so bad when I see the majority of black people
isolate a particular white voter demographic. I would isolate also a middle class voter demographic. There are people who distrust you with your policies and your position on nationalization, on expropriation of land. Have you been trying to allay any of those fears? I don't know if you saw Christo Visa at the weekend videos of him at the business conference saying that Julius Malema is right. We need more black land ownership in South Africa. He gets it because he probably asks you to come and maybe talk to him as a captain of the industry. But are you doing enough to get other voters to entrust you with yours?
Well, the middle class, especially black middle class, is very receptive of the EFF because they can relate to what the EFF is speaking about. We haven't made enough inroads on the white constituency because of its privileged position, that when you say we now have to share this, they're like, I'm so used to the size of the cake and now I'm told that I need to share it with other people. So that is their reluctance, but they understand the message. And the captain of the industry, Christo Viso, is correct that in the absence of black people owning the land, the investment, and any other economic opportunity that exists in South Africa is threatened by lack of ownership of the land by the majority of our people. I don't have access to him. I don't speak to captains of industry. I just make my own presentations in different institutions. I never meet them privately, and I've made it my business not to engage with anyone in private conversations. So I go make presentations at places like RMB and other investment institutions to explain that there's nothing anti-white about the policy of the EFF. So yesterday I said, you must tell Johan Rupert that when we take over, the first land we're going to take is his. And how do you take it? He has to share that land with others. Why do you own so much land as one individual and have so many people living in congested environment and unable to participate in the agricultural economy or any other economic activity because they don't have access to them? So that's all we say.
Mr. Malema, the Constitution includes white people as well. However, you are constantly spewing hateful and hurtful words towards the white race. Why are you doing this? Democracy includes also white people in South Africa.
White people understand my message very well because I say it in English. They are just trying to be sensitive unnecessarily. No EFF has ever attacked any white person. Our position is very clear that those who are oppressed economically must be liberated to be equal to white people. I never said in my articulation, let's drive white people to the sea. I've always said, let there be equality. And white people who are racist and suffer from white supremacy are the ones who are refusing the equality because they don't see themselves sharing a dinner table with monkeys. That's how they view us. And the EFF is trying to bring these people on our table, and we're not going to allow that. So only white supremacists will not accept the equality of our people. That's why Christo Viso says, let black people own the land, because it is in the interest of all of us for black people to own the land. He understands the message, he hears the message. Nothing anti-white about the EFF.
We're running out of time, but let's have another voice note. George, please.
no secret that you're a man of means. Financially, I don't think you have to ever worry about going to bed hungry. So I'm just curious, what have you personally, out of your wealth, your own personal wealth, what have you done for your electorates, for the needy, for the hungry in South Africa? Please tell us.
Well, I take a lot of kids to school. Myself, personally, I build some of the poor people houses, and I always ensure that we try by all means to intervene in poverty-stricken families. I always preach that message, even with the leadership of the EFF. I've recently launched a soup kitchen in my own township. I'm no longer staying there. My grandmother's house is there, and because of my association with that community, I thought I need to make a contribution in practically changing the lives of our people. So I live for people and I help people on daily basis, and some of them I don't even remember them. I've heard another guy on a podcast say his friend told him that he is at school and at the university because Julius Malema paid for his fees.
I hope you saw what I meant about his commitment to liberating black people. When he says he's fighting for black people, I seriously believe him. There's no doubt. I also don't understand why a lot of, especially young black people, who criticizes him and who doesn't believe in him. I've been going through some comments on Twitter about him, the way he's going to destroy this country. And I'm asking myself, but why a lot of people are behaving in this way? When this person is genuinely interested in liberating the black child. And when you look around, all the political parties which are claiming to represent the interest of blacks, there are nothing they are doing to prove that they are really representing the interests of black people, like what the EFF and Julius Malema are doing. I have been following their 10-year celebration when they were going around the 9 provinces, choosing old age homes and children's homes where they were donating. In most cases where I've watched, they were donating a lot of stuff, renovating those old age homes and children's homes, and on top of that, they were donating 100,000. So I will say, even if there are certain business people who are financing or funding the EFF, you can see where the money is going because it goes to the people. So these are things which we see, which we're not seeing by the other political parties. I challenge you to go on the comment section to give your comments if you know of other political leaders or other political party who have done something which we can talk about it, which you can show that this is a political party and they have done this and that to these communities. I will sit here and wait. Thank you for watching, and then please subscribe to the channel so that we keep on discussing about these things.